This week's Pretender Contender is brought to you by Tilmar.ca as we discuss Colin Kaepernick. After being given the nod to get the starting position at quarterback, he's brought the team to 2 NFC Championship game appearances. The question is, now that they haven't made playoffs, is Colin Kaepernick a pretender or a contender? We welcome back Simon Salikas, Anthony Cornelli, David Hurley. Great to see you guys. All right, let's talk about the 49ers. Huge surprise. They're not going to be making playoffs. First things first, what's the biggest change you bring to this team, or is there any change needed at all?
I personally don't think there is a major change. The coach should not be fired. I know that that's the biggest rumor that's going to happen right now. Quarterback, it is what it is. Colin Kaepernick's still in his 3rd year. Let's give him a break. I really think that the injury bug really hit this team at the beginning of the year. Not having Navarro Bowman since the NFC Championship game last year. Smith has been Aldon Smith's suspension has been something bad for the team. And you also have the running backs that haven't been doing it by committee this year.
Well, Smith and Bowman don't play often, so I'm going to put this on Kaepernick. This is on Jim Harbaugh. I think that relationship is done. I don't think Jim Harbaugh, that works at the professional level for an extended period of time. You look at Michael Crabtree, very good wide receiver. Anquan Bolden, the best possession receiver in football. Vernon Davis is one of the 6 best tight ends. The run game, Hyde and Gore is good, not great. The O-line is above average. This falls on Colin Kaepernick. The one thing that I find he has issues with is just making the easy throws. There's no touch. Everything's at 100 miles an hour. That's something he could work on, but you give defensive coordinators enough time, they get film on you, they figure you out. Now he's got to do something. He's got to switch up something in his game to be effective.
In his defense, I think he's a contender. I mean, Bill Parcells came out and said that Colin Kaepernick's at a crossroads of his career. I don't think so. He's 27 years old. He's been to 2 NFC Championships games. He's been in the Super Bowl. Those cobwebs are out. All that's left now is to go out and win the big game. I think that with the rumors of Jim Harbaugh leaving, he kind of lost the locker room. There's a lot of pressure and criticism going on Kaepernick when we all know the suspensions and the injuries have hurt the Niners.
I think the team went away a little bit of their identity as well. I mean, they're a pass option kind of team. The read option hasn't been working this year. They haven't done it. I mean, he's got no rushing touchdowns. Colin Kaepernick was drafted out of Nevada for one thing. He had his legs. He rushed for 1,000 yards and he threw for 2,000. That's a mobile quarterback. He's the type of RG3. There's only one quarterback that's doing it in the NFL right now, and that's Russell Wilson, that has that style of play. They took it away from Kaepernick, which was his bread and butter. I think that's the main reason why they didn't play well this year.
I agree with you. I think he's definitely a contender. And I'm very curious to find out and where this stems from, right? Where this rumor of trading out Harbaugh comes from. Because the team's sitting 7-7 right now, right? If you win the game against the Rams, you win the game of the Battle of the Bay, you win against the Raiders, and you win against Chicago, this is a 10-14.
Yeah,
it's not a 7-7.
You're battling for the
Right, but I think that
every
every NFL team is going to circle a game on their calendar that they should have won.
Right, one game, not 3. That could have made an impact.
They're not the same. This is not the same squad that went to the Super Bowl, right? Remember that big physical defense that you couldn't move the ball on them. They've been beaten up. When you're elite, they come take your players. They lost a couple of players every year to free agency. And again, I think this is on Jim Harbaugh. I don't think he'll be back next year.
Oh, he won't be back. His coaching style, like you said, is a little too aggressive. I think it's the general manager and him don't clash as well. They're going to come into a new coach, but they're going to miss Jim Harbaugh because he has won 2 NFC championships since he's been there. Finished 2nd last year, and this is the first season he doesn't.
Made him respectable again, right? Fans have short memories because before his arrival, those 3 great years, 4 years. That team was struggling big time for 8 years. I mean, he's made quite a bit.
Like you mentioned, Jim Harbaugh, he has a pass-first mentality in his offense. But when things are not going well, when you're struggling, what do you go back to?
You run the ball.
You run the ball, right? And like you said, Colin Kaepernick, one of the best rushing or, how do you say it?
Mobile
quarterbacks in the league. So let him get out of the funk. Make him run the ball. Yeah. He hasn't rushed for 1 touchdown this year.
I think it's too early to tell.
Like they say with players in the NFL or in any sport, when you come back from an injury or to get into the game, you just need to get hit. And let him get hit once or twice on the run, and I feel he'll get his guns going. We'll see next season. I think he'll bounce back, though.
Hopefully we'll see you back. It was great having you on the show. I know you have a lot of stuff coming up. Where can people catch you and some of the fun stuff you're involved with?
Well, I'll be on TSN 690 the next couple of weeks filling in for Tony Marinaro on the Montreal Forum. You can follow me on Twitter at SimonTSN 690.
Thanks for taking the time to do the show.
Thank you, Adam.
Stay with us. After the break, I face off against Pastor Terrell Fletcher, an ex-running back of the NFL. You don't want to miss it.